Update. My husband and my friend acted like they wanted each other sexually right in front of me. Original post. Background: my husband and I have been married for 12 years, together for 17. 2 nights ago we went out for a friend's birthday. We'll call her Jane. Jane is married to my husband's childhood friend. They got married about a year and a half ago and they have not been doing well due to him breaking Jane's trust. They're in therapy, but it's getting close to divorce. She is understandably very upset. More background that will make sense later: my husband and I haven't had sex in 2 months. I have recovered from an injury that caused a lot of bleeding during sex. A couple of times during these 2 months, I offered oral sex to him but he declined. He said he wasn't feeling up to it when I offered and I believe him. I just want to make it clear this is not a sexless marriage. My husband also has some self-esteem issues from prior trauma and he's in therapy for that. While we're out for Jane's birthday with some other friends, everything is fine until there are a few drinks in. I only had one the entire night. Our other friends had to call it a night, so it's just me, my husband, and Jane. This is where things get weird. They start flirting in this weird power play for dominance. I don't know how to describe it really. Jane says something about putting herself in a box, like horny jail, because it's been so long since she's had sex, and my husband jokingly grabs her by the throat and says, "Yeah, I'll put you in a box." While all of this is happening, there's this random dude that's hitting on Jane. It's karaoke night and the random guy serenades her and gives her this silly lap dance. So all fun and games, right? No. It just keeps escalating from here. Later Jane grabs my husband's hair and shoves him into the wall and he kind of moans. He says, "If you grab me by the hair again, it will end with my D in your throat," or something along those lines. This entire time I'm awkwardly laughing it off because I know they're both drunk and they're laughing. At the time, I think my husband is playing around trying to make her feel better because it's her birthday and her marriage is in the trash. I didn't realize it until hours later. My husband wasn't giving me any of the attention he usually does. More flirting keeps happening and my husband asks me multiple times if I'm okay. I just quickly answer that I'm fine. If he's asking me that multiple times, doesn't that sound like he knows something is wrong and he's just looking to see how far this would go? When the bar is closing, I drive us home. Jane doesn't want to go home because of things going on in her marriage. She's stayed with us before, so that's not out of the ordinary. And of course, it just gets weirder. Jane pushes my husband onto the couch, straddles him, and chokes him. My husband is enjoying this. I'm standing there dumbfounded. He kept saying how the dynamic was weird but how much he wanted it. Later, while my husband is in the restroom, Jane tells me they are not sexually attracted to each other, but they're both very sexually attracted to me. Like, yes, I know my husband is sexually attracted to me. He comes out and at some point, my husband says he wants to throw us both down and F us and says, "Go F my wife," to Jane. As soon as what was said involved me directly, I had to say something then. I said I think both of them sober wouldn't do anything behind Jane's husband's, my husband's best friend from childhood, back regardless of how much of a jerk he's being, and I wasn't down to do anything when alcohol is involved. They said okay. What I said was a cop-out, honestly. I wouldn't be comfortable if alcohol wasn't involved either, but I didn't know how to reasonably voice that, so I used alcohol as an excuse. Later, I've come to understand I was dissociating at the bar and was not processing what was happening. I also didn't want to come between whatever was happening because they're two adults. I shouldn't have to be the sober person to stop or otherwise prevent something happening by being a mother hen. My husband should know better. We had previously talked about how I was uncomfortable earlier this month when she had put her hand on his chest while laughing. She was also drunk then. He apologized for not stopping that. So what would the night have been like if I wasn't there? I feel grimy or ashamed, but I didn't do anything, so why do I feel that way? How much of this is being drunk and silly and not having had sex in a while, and how much of it is something else? Is this going to happen anytime he has a few drinks and someone gives him attention? I don't know. I have communicated all of this to my husband once he was sober and he says he feels awful. He apologized and made us an appointment with a marriage counselor. I'm asking the above questions, and does it seem like therapy would even help? Has anyone else dealt with someone similar, and what was the result? I'm having nightmares about this. I'm so hurt and angry I can barely even look at my husband. Am I being unreasonable? Is it my fault for not saying I wasn't okay until later, even though I wasn't given the chance to really think about it? Reading the top comments before the update. I don't understand how in the hell you aren't freaking out more. I am not married, but my boyfriend and I have been together for 6 years. If a friend was straddling him, choking him, touching his hair, and making these comments, he and that friend would be out of the door so effing fast. Stop downplaying this. Drunk or not, my partner and I have both been blackout drunk and have never pushed the line like this. And friends should never cross boundaries like that either, whether their marriage is messed up or not. It's disrespectful, gross, and the alcohol is a pathetic excuse. I'd also be wondering if something has been going on with them already, because this seems pre-planned almost. But obviously I wouldn't know. Too many people have commented here saying they think it was pre-planned and I hadn't even considered that. I feel sick. I really should be freaking out more. Zoloft is a hell of a drug, I guess. Ugh. Another thing, OP. Maybe Jane's marriage falling apart is not all her husband's doing. She has probably been feeding you tales. I mean, the proof is in the pudding, and if she treats you, her friend, like this, you both need to cut Jane off. She's no friend. What your husband did and allowed is disgusting. I wonder if the real reason her husband and her are divorcing is because Jane cheated on him with your husband. Seriously rethink your marriage. A man who actually loves and respects his wife would never behave like that or allow another woman to disrespect his wife in marriage like that. This. And he kept asking OP if she was okay. That means he knew what he was doing and with whom. That's what keeps coming up in my mind. He must have known if he was asking so many times. Or he at least knew something was off. Edit, it's 4:30 AM here and I should really try to sleep. I've been trying to read and reply to all of your comments, but my head is pounding. I'll pick this back up later on today. Thank you to everyone if I haven't replied to you yet. Update. I don't really have much to add, but I know people are asking for an update. First therapy session went well. My husband is genuinely remorseful and has no problem never communicating with Jane ever again. I'm doing my best to work through how I feel about all of this and not compartmentalize. Time and hard work will tell if our relationship survives. I have not had a conversation with Jane yet, but I know I need to. She's asked me to go to lunch or dinner just as, but I've had a migraine when she wanted to go, so that was cancelled. I've had one session with my own therapist so far and I feel like I'll be better equipped to handle that conversation once I've had a couple of sessions. If people want to know how that goes, I guess I'll comment on this post and post it to my profile, since only one update is allowed. As far as I know, Jane has asked her husband for a divorce. I only know this because he messaged my husband about it. Jane has not told her soon-to-be ex-husband what happened on her birthday and my husband wants to tell him, of course. Not sure when that will happen, but it definitely needs to. Since they're already getting divorced, I could see how people might feel like that would just be adding salt to his wounds, but he had the right to know. I'll also post a comment when that happens and post it to my profile. I think that's everything. Just a few developments to share. Edit, forgot to add apparently, Jane said to my husband in the car the next morning, "If I were sober, I would have effed you." He said he just kept driving stone-faced. Also, my doorbell camera caught her asking him, "Do you think I effed up?" I haven't formulated what I'm going to say to her about this yet. Jane said to my husband in the car the next morning, "If I were sober, I would have effed you." Why the hell was he in the car with her after everything? Sorry, but your husband is also trash. Combined with Jane's comment on Ring that OP heard her say, "Did I F up last night?" Sounds like they've been having a physical affair, and Jane's realizing that birthday they were way too open about all night physically, so OP may have figured it out. And OP's comment that her husband wants to talk to Jane's husband about her birthday? It's to give his sanitized, polished version to the guy. I called it on the first post. Those two were in cahoots long before they attempted a threesome. The whole thing was pre-planned, and once her husband realized it went poorly, he shut down and is projecting innocence and blocking out Jane in an attempt to save his marriage. He should come clean and admit they wanted to hook up and thought they could get away with it if they talked OP into joining. Instead, Jane will drop the bomb separately when OP finally meets with her, and this will delay OP's healing yet again. I feel really bad for her. Woman. Your friend literally told your husband she would have slept with him sober, and your husband was out here moaning, choking, and talking about threesomes with her right in front of you. That's not a mistake, he is literally showing you who he really is when he thinks he can get away with it. Therapy or not, he disrespected you in the most humiliating way possible. Jane isn't a friend, and your husband isn't a life partner. You don't need to save this marriage, but you need to save yourself. Stop being the third wheel. Lawyer up. In her previous post, she mentioned having low self-esteem and letting people walk all over her. I feel like this behavior will continue until she starts recognizing her worth, which is definitely more than this. The fact that her husband and best friend were able to do all of this both behind her back and in front of her shows how much of a pushover she is. It's incredibly sad. I hope she recovers and stops letting people treat her like a doormat. She deserves better. On to the next story. I just got a "hey girl" text and been told my husband has been cheating on me 2 weeks after our marriage. I'm devastated. Original post. I'm out of town and got a follow request both on Facebook and Instagram from a girl. I get a few of these regularly, but with that one I somehow had some weird gut feeling and started to shag. Instead of accepting her request, I messaged her if we know each other, to which she replied we don't, and she gets it might be awkward, but she would like to discuss something with me in person ASAP. Since I'm out of town and she is a complete stranger, I said let's discuss online, and she said it's about my husband. I immediately knew that the worst is coming. She said that he is cheating on me and I deserve better. Said that it's not continuing anymore as he broke up with her today. However, she told me it started a few months ago when they met online at first and then met in person. She knew he was married, he told her. She was asking why is he cheating and why he got married in the first place, to which he replied that he felt pressure from the others. We've kinda been together for 10 years when he proposed. And that marriage is just a big expensive party and nothing more than a piece of paper. Then I asked her why they broke up then, and she told me because he is basically happy in our relationship and he doesn't want to risk it anymore. She said he was visiting her at her place when I was coming late from work and even had sleepovers when I was out of town. I told her not to tell him that I know, and I'm about to confront him in person once I'm back home. We've been married for 5 months, he basically started to cheat right after, still telling me he loves me etc. I feel so betrayed. I thought I found my person and now it's all gone and I feel like I'm getting back to square one in life. I told him I want to start a family next year. I have no idea what to do after I tell him I know everything. I can't even cry, just have this hollow in my chest and feeling numbness. I also have no idea why she told me now and not sooner. I don't care why she told you, but she told you. Make sure there's proof before you confront him. Get screenshots from her with his phone number, ask her to give details. More info than could be found by just talking to your husband casually. There are crazy people out there. Trust but verify. Yes. Get proof. Also, she sounds bitter as F. If he didn't end it with her she wouldn't have told you crap. She's just beat up because he told her to F off. He is wrong, you need all proof from her. She told you now because she's pissed at him for not choosing her. She's hoping you leave him so he'll go back to her. She knew about you the whole time. Has she sent you proof, as you'll need it when you confront him, otherwise he'll just lie and say she made it all up to get back at him for blah blah blah. I actually don't have any proof, but they definitely know each other because she wrote me she knew I was out of town as he was supposed to meet her today but ended it instead. She told me that he told her he cheated on me in the past, 8 years ago. We just had a most perfect honeymoon in summer. I take care of many things at home, I cook, I clean, I initiate sex. Now I know why he wasn't that much meeting me halfway, as he was getting that elsewhere most likely. I work out to stay in shape, work in IT field so I'm financially independent. We also laugh a lot together and have common interests. I don't understand what went wrong. Even now he's sending me hearts in chat like nothing is wrong. Edit, as I'm not sure if you can find this comment. Thanks everyone for your comments, support, and kind words. This is my first post so I'm not even sure if I should add this as an edit part or if you're gonna see this comment either way. I was wide awake the whole night, reading everything, chatting with some of you in DMs. I already had a scheduled message for her, saying that I was thinking of what you told me yesterday and the only thing I'm missing in all this is evidence, as it's a big accusation and words against words. However, I decided not to send it yet. Firstly, at the moment I'm not able to handle seeing any proof/evidence with my own eyes. I just can't face this yet and I don't want to know details. I never wanted her to reach out to me and throw her burden on me instead of carrying it herself. Secondly, I know my husband, to some point at least. Believe it or not, he is kind of a sensitive and caring person. I know once I drop it, even without evidence, he ain't gonna gaslight me and he will admit it. If he were to say it's not true, then I will demand to see his stuff or I'll reach out to her. But talking to her brings me anger and anxiety at this point. He will be asking me how my weekend at my parents' was. I will tell him I met some childhood friends and actually made a new friend. And that he wouldn't believe what happened to her. She found a married guy she was supposed to spend her weekend with when his wife was traveling, but he broke up with her instead. So she decided to tell his wife. Plot twist, you're the guy, I'm the wife, And my friend is name of the girl who reached out to me. Then I will wait for him to process and I'll start to have a conversation. We've known each other since my 16 and his 17. I consider this man my best friend. I was just rereading the vow he wrote me and thinking of the past few months, how there was nothing wrong, basically. He didn't give me any bigger clue to worry about anything. He even bought me flowers last week just like that. I don't know what I'll do yet. It's also up to him and how he approaches this whole situation. I know that to the majority of you I will look naive and stupid, not learning my lesson. But for me, marriage is something so sacred and something I wanted with him since day one that it's difficult for me to let it go without trying any counseling. Maybe the end is inevitable and I'm just prolonging something that will come, but I can't see myself making any decision in this state of mind. Once again, thank you everyone. You are such great people and I'm sorry if you had to go through something like this yourself. No one deserves this kind of betrayal.